everyone, welcome back to another episode of Mindful Minute. I'm Gabby, and I'm so excited to be back putting up new content for you guys. It's been exciting just kind of making a list of things that I really want to talk about. I've also been working on getting a few people to collab here on my podcast, so having some guests come on and talk about topics that they're really passionate and interested in. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And the way that you can stay tuned for that is if you subscribe to this podcast and you follow me over on the podcast Instagram, which is at mindful.minute_. Follow me over there. I'm going to be starting to do some more Instagram lives to really kind of interact with you guys. And also I do a lot of daily affirmations, self-care reminders, and daily quotes. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to give me a follow. And also, if you're new here and you're kind of first, now checking out my content, if you like this episode at the end and you want to, stay up to date on future ones, be sure to subscribe. And yeah, alright you guys, let's get into this episode. Alright, so as you can tell from the title of this episode, I'm going to be talking about 10 habits that you can incorporate into your day or your morning routine. I know this is really hard, and it's something that I've also been learning to do, and we're learning together, you guys. As much as I'm putting this stuff up for you, I'm also this is stuff for me to also remind myself to do. So don't feel like you're in a race where you have to be perfect and you have to do all these things. It's because it's easy and sometimes you just forget, It's that's okay. That's okay if you forget every now and then to make your bed or whatever. But I think that these are really healthy habits, and as I'm kind of, like I said, showing these and telling you guys about these things, I'm also telling myself these habits because so many of them I kind of brush aside and ignore. I think it's been really hard for me to really stick to, and even try putting and adding new things into my routine because I just graduated college, and it's once you're out of college, it's okay, I have all the time. I don't have to worry about setting an alarm because you're still looking for jobs and all these things, but it's you're also you're just I don't want to have to make my bed. I'm going to crawl back into it later anyways. What's the point? I don't want to have to not hit snooze on my alarm. But it's something I've been trying my best to work on because I do want to still wake up, make the day productive, do something enjoyable, be active, So, yeah, anyways, let's kind of go through these. Number 1. Don't hit snooze on your alarm. This one is, wow, I feel alarms are just very annoying, and especially the iPhone ones, they just go off forever and ever and ever, and it's oh my gosh, just stop. But I know it's really easy to say, let me just get 5 more minutes, let me just 10 more minutes, but I also have learned that the more that you take that 5 to 10 minutes, the more that now it's okay, now you have to get up, you have to rush, you gotta go in the bathroom, brush your teeth, take a shower, do all these things, and then it's oh wait, it's 7 o'clock already, I should have been, making myself breakfast and getting out the door. It's these things, I think that it's so important why not hitting snooze on your alarm is important, because it's the more that you do that, now it's oh my gosh, my day is starting off so late when I should have gotten up and did all these things and really kind of get that routine going. And so this is why I think just saying, okay, if you have to get up at 7:15, it's actually almost 8 o'clock in the morning here that I'm filming this oh my gosh, why do I keep saying video? I'm not on YouTube. Gosh, anyways, it's almost probably 8 o'clock at this point, but it's I got up early and I honestly couldn't really sleep last night, so that's also a factor contributing to this. But getting up early, really kind of getting the day started, and then by the time it's maybe 3-4 o'clock, at least you could be wow, I did so much today. So please don't hit snooze on your alarm. Just once you hear it go off and it's annoying, just get out of bed. Number 2, speaking of getting out of bed, once you get out of bed, make your bed. Not gonna lie, haven't made my bed yet, but that's okay, because like I said, I'm learning with you guys. But I feel like for me, my routine is interesting, right? Because I will have the day, like, okay, when was it? I want to say 2 days ago was like my probably most productive day that I've had since being out of school. Because I got up and I like made the bed and I put on like a good playlist to really kind of get me started and get me kind of like dancing around the room. And I did all these things. I cleaned up like my room and I did all these things, and I felt like, wow, like I said, like by 3-4 o'clock I was like, wow, I did so much today. But again, there are those days when you're just like, you don't have the energy to make your bed or to clean your room. And not gonna lie, like I'm still trying to like organize the space around me to make it more comfortable and to put like lots of positivity in here. So making my bed has really been like something I've been doing more often. So really kind of just saying like, all right, you want to be able, especially if you're at work or you're at school, it's like you want to be able to come home to a bed that was made and a clean room and just have like a clean space to kind of like end the day on, and also to like kind of start the day too. It's like, okay, wow, like I made my bed. Even if you don't do anything else for the rest of the day, like Monday, I told myself, I was like, oh, I'm going to film a video for my YouTube channel, but then it was like, I just had zero energy and like no motivation really. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get up, I'm going to do all these things. I got up, I, went in the bathroom, brushed my teeth, I took a shower, I did all those things, but then when I was done, I was like, oh, like I'm just going to climb back into bed, and I spent the entire day just sleeping and not doing anything. But it's like, I'm trying to train my mind to really be like, no, you want to film? You can film. But also really kind of, and this is something I'm going to say also when I film my video later, is that if I don't put content out, then it's not the end of the world. And I think that like that's something that a lot of content creators struggle with, is feeling like they have to be perfect and have to stick to some schedule. But it's like, if you're not having a great day or your energy feels low, it's like, don't force yourself to do something that you don't want to do, and that goes for anything. If you don't feel comfortable with something, don't say yes to it. You have every right to say, you know what, this is not like what I want today and I don't have the energy to deal with this. It's not that you're trying to be mean to people or you're not trying to put content out, but also I think stressing the fact that like, as a content creator, it does get really hard to come up with an idea of what to record for an episode or what to film for a YouTube video. And so I think us taking that time to really kind of be like, all right, I need a day to just like take care of me and kind of maybe even just do nothing, I think that that's okay. And I think that more people need to understand, like, this is why I made this podcast, is because I feel like more people need to understand that mental health is important, and protecting your peace and your energy and not allowing things or people to destroy it and like, make you feel like you are obligated to do something. I think that like a lot of more people need to pay more attention to those things, because the more that we kind of give in to the idea that like, oh, I have to be perfect, I have to do this, I have to do all these things, it's like the more that you're like forgetting about yourself and the more that you're putting yourself on the back burner and you're saying like, wow, like I didn't know that would take so much energy out of me to do this and to be there and to go do this, and you know what I mean? So really just understanding that like it's okay to have a day or two where you just feel like you don't want to do anything, or to take care of yourself. That's important. You need to take care of yourselves. Especially like with COVID and just so many things happening, it's like there's just so much of a rush to do this, and everybody's like listening to the news and it's making people like upset and depressed, and it's like, no, like you don't have to force yourself to do those things. Don't go on social media in the morning, like, just take your time and really understand that, like, you don't have to rush yourself to do something or force yourself. So yeah, I just want to kind of say that because, wow, now I've completely forgot my point. Oh yeah, we were talking about making the bed, right? I'm sorry. So, you know, it's like, if you have a day where it's like, damn, that's a lot of work, I don't feel like doing all that, I'm not gonna, like, no one should be mad at you for saying, like, oh, you didn't make your bed this morning, like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? And it's like, I live with my mom, so it's like, sometimes she'll come in and she'll be like, oh, like, you didn't make your bed today, and I'm like, yeah, wasn't really feeling it. And I think, like, now she's kind of understanding, like, that for me, when I'm like having a rough day or where my mental health isn't great, I think she's starting to understand that, like, I need that moment, or I need those few hours to just kind of like be in a little funk, you know? I've been taking part in the 30-day mental health challenge, and I know this is kind of like derailing from the rest of the episode, but I promise you I'm going to get through the rest of it. But I've been taking part in this 30-day mental health challenge that I found on this blog called Self-Care Overload, and I actually like connected with the woman that's in charge of it, and you know, I've been talking to her about this podcast and like how much I would love to have her on this. So hopefully, you know, we can do that at some point. But it really, like, one of the days was actually, it said, take 5 minutes to worry. 5 minutes to worry about whatever it is that you need to worry about, to think about. And then after those 5 minutes are done, like, go do something you love. Read a book. Do something enjoyable for yourself. So I think, like, there's so much of a stigma surrounding mental health and just how people react to it the minute you say, oh, I'm in therapy. You're in therapy? What's going on? Are you okay? Oh no, I'm fine. I just need someone to talk to. It's never like I just wish more people would be like, oh, you're in therapy. That's great. Like, I'm really happy for you, you know? Because therapy doesn't always have to be this negative, like, oh, they're in therapy, there must be something going on with this person because they're obviously going to therapy once a week, or they're doing these things. And it's like, I'm going to therapy because I'm taking care of myself, and I'm going to therapy because it's important to me for me to get an outsider's perspective and a professional person's perspective on how to really do things that are healthier and better for myself, you know? So yeah. Anyways, if that's like a big topic you guys really want to hear about, like, let me know. Like I said, Instagram is the best way to really kind of contact me and interact with me. So if there's things that you want to hear, or if, you know, I'm really trying to get into like actually filming / recording this video. Oh my gosh, this is the third time I've said video in this entire thing. You know what I was trying to say. Anyways, on to the next thing. Number 3, clean the space around you. Wow, this is a big one for me. As a blind girl, I feel like organization is really, really important. But again, it goes back to like, okay, I've been busy doing whatever, or I've been busy with school, or, you know, for other people like work or whatever, where it's like sometimes you'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna get to it, and then you end up forgetting that you did your laundry and left it in a heap in the bag in a corner for like 2 weeks. I'm just saying, it happened to me a few times. So, but it's like, clean the space around you in the morning. I feel like that really is a good way to kickstart your day. I did that the other day, like the day when I was like, oh, I'm gonna film, because that was the day where I was like, I have so much energy from taking a day to kind of relax and sleep and, you know, take care of myself. And I feel like I just got up, I moved all the clothes I had, I made my bed, I opened the window. I don't like the cold, and where I am it is freezing, so I tend to leave the window open. But I was like, you know what, like, let's open this window, get some air in, and, you know, put on the diffuser. If you don't have an essential oil diffuser, I highly recommend you invest in one. But you know, like, and I think that all just goes back to, like, at the end of the day when you're home and, you know, you're done, it's like you want to come home and you don't want to have to be like, ugh, I have all this stuff to move and to clean and to do this and to wash dishes and to, you know, it's like, that's one thing, like, my mom has always taught me is she's one person who actually, like, she detests seeing a mess in a room. Like, if she sees a mess, she's like, oh my gosh, no, because, like, it drives her crazy. Like, and I think for her, it's like, this room is a mess. Like, you need to clean up, you need to, like, open the windows, you know. She thinks, like, why do you have the windows open? My mom loves the cold, so, like, in the rest of the house, like, all the windows would be open, and, like, you come in my room and it's like the heat is on and, like, the windows are closed, and she's just like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just cold. So, you know, but, like, cleaning your room and really, like, organizing the space around you, I feel like, if especially now that people are working from home, and, you know, if you're in school, like, you're going, depending on your schedule, and you're, like, doing school from home, it's like, clean your desk where you work. On my desk, I have the microphone that I'm using to record for you guys, my iPad and my computer, and, like, my diffuser and a few other things that I keep up here. But it's like, keeping your desk neat and like keeping the rest of your room clean is important. And I know you guys are probably thinking, wow, she's so hypocritical. I know, I'm sorry. Listen, I have my days, and I think that that's okay. Like, everybody has their days where they're like, I'm not gonna do that today. And I'm not being hypocritical, it's just what it is. Like, you have those days where you're like, yeah, like, not in the mood, you know? And that's fine. Like, no one should force you, again. Like, no one should force you to do something. And, like, once you get to it, like, if you take half of the day to relax, to do whatever, and then, like, middle of the day, you're like, oh, wow, like, I'm good. Like, I feel good. Let me clean my room. Let me make my bed up. Like, that's kind of how I do it sometimes, because in the morning it's hard when, you know, you're getting up and you're doing all these things and you're trying to be productive, and then it's like, oh, did I do that? No, I totally did not do that, but I need to clean the space around me just to, like, bring more positivity and good vibes into it and really help myself, like, get a clearer mindset. I feel like that's also what comes into play as well. So, next one on the list is practice self-care. This is a big one for me. I feel like before going to school, I would always try to make sure to take a few moments for myself to really kind of, like, have that moment of peace, to pray, to read affirmations, to meditate, like, do whatever it is that you enjoy doing before you go to work or before you go to school. Like, whether it's doing yoga or exercising or going for a walk or, you know, like, meditating or doing breathing exercises, whatever it is, reading a book, like, any of those things that you feel is really going to, like, give you that moment of, like, it's quiet, it's peaceful, I have this time to myself to, like, just kind of do whatever, you know. It's like, I feel like that's really important, and that's something that's important to me, is, like, after making your bed, after cleaning, after doing all those things, it's like, all right, now it's time for me to actually, like, sit down and meditate, and I think all of these things are really, like, they go so hand in hand, because I found that when I get up and I, you know, like I said, like, clean my room and make my bed and, you know, put the diffuser on and open a window, it's like all of those things, when you're done, and you're done, like, you know, brushing your teeth and washing your face and showering, it's like, when you're done doing all those things, it's like, wow, like, I can actually sit here now and meditate, or just take a minute for silence. You don't even have to do anything. If that's what you need, to just kind of sit there before you interact with anybody, or before you, like, go out and, you know, go to your job or go to your school, it's like, even if that's just, like, a minute of breathing or whatever, I think that that's important. So I just kind of want to stress that, like, practicing self-care, whatever it is for you that you enjoy, just make sure to incorporate that into your routine. Number 5, read affirmations. I love these. I love doing affirmations. I feel like I found that affirmations has really allowed me to put a lot of positive energy out into the world. Saying like, I'm confident, I'm courageous, like today is gonna be such a beautiful day for me, and really like saying those words. It's like I said in the last episode, if you guys haven't watched it, check it out, but I said in the last episode, it's like the more that like a lot of people just tend to wake up and be like, ugh, it's such a terrible day. It's like, no, it's not a terrible day. You haven't even started your day yet. How is it terrible? You know what I mean? It's like get up, do what you need to do, and really like take the time to like say a lot of positive stuff. I feel like after, and this is like something I'm repeating from the past episode, but it's like after like getting into meditation and really kind of like praying more and reading affirmations, I found that like it's really shifted my mood, and it's shifted like how I go about my day, because you tend to just go about your day with so much more gratitude and appreciation for everything. It's like so many people go to work or go to school and they're like, ugh, I hated seeing those people today. And it's like, really? Why? Like, why did, because a lot of people don't start their day with positivity and gratitude, and I feel like that's so important. It's like, you're blessed, like you woke up today, you're breathing, you're alive, you have a bed that you just slept in, you have everything that's providing you the resources and the tools for you to succeed in life. It's like, I feel like there's so many people who just take so much for granted and forget that like even as simple as reading affirmations is necessary for them to be able to kind of do what they need to do. So practice affirmations, and if you guys need some affirmations, at mindful.minute_ on Instagram has a few. Thank you. Number 6, meditate. I cannot stress this enough, okay? I cannot stress this enough. I've talked about it over on my YouTube channel. I've talked about it like with friends, but like I really cannot stress enough that like meditation is amazing. Like it's just like, I don't even know, but I started using Headspace, I want to say back in 2000, like maybe end of 2019 maybe. And then I started just like, I'm like, oh, like there's so many things you could do. There's guided practices, there's breathing exercises, there's even like a thing for you to do like physical, like, active exercises like yoga and like all these things. And I was like, wow, like I didn't know that this was an option before that, like I was just going about my day like la-di-da-di-da. But like once I found out that meditation was an option, I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta try it. And I've done like yoga in the past, like as a junior in high school. I missed it so much, so like I started, like we have a yoga mat here, so I did yoga at home, and I use like an accessible one where it's not like visual, so it actually like goes through every single one of the like the motions with you, which is amazing. But it's like I started meditating, like starting the day with like positivity again and gratitude, and that's even one that they have there, like really how to kickstart your day with gratitude. And if you're someone who suffers with anxiety like myself, then they have stuff on like anxiety and stress, and they even have sleep stuff. You guys, they have sleep stuff. Like Headspace is amazing. And even if you don't use Headspace, which I really do think you should, because I found that that's the one that really is like top of the game, top of the list. It's like you can find so many options on there, like things that are suited to help you. It doesn't have to be like, oh, this is every single day they'll give you like a today's meditation, and if that's not the one you want to do, you can like search for ones that you want. You can even like add certain things that you like to your favorites to always go back to it. There's like so many different options, and I can't stress it enough that like starting your day on a good like note is really like important, and meditating has really like allowed me to understand that more. So yeah. All right, number 7. Why did I say it like that? I'm sorry. Number 7, journal. Okay, so if you haven't heard me say it already. I'm blind, so I don't actually use a pen and paper to write. But for the sighted people here that may be watching, oh my gosh, I can't, you guys. I think it's just because it's the morning and I'm like, I haven't had coffee yet. But no, but seriously, it's like, for anybody listening, if you're sighted, then it's like, it's easy because you could just pull out a pen and a paper and get writing and you know, write down your thoughts. And so for me, since I don't have that option, I use an app on my iPad where you're able to kind of select the mood that you're in. And it's really awesome because, like, if you're in like a bad mood for whatever reason, which I wouldn't understand why, but like if you ever are in a bad mood in the morning, then it's like you can put like a sad face or something. But if you're in a great mood, it's like they have all these different options. And I love it because it's like you can talk, you can like write about all your thoughts, all your feelings, give gratitude, say what you're grateful for. And that's like one thing I want to challenge you guys all to do is like challenge yourself each day to write 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for, you know? Write it down on a piece of paper. Get like one of those felt boards and write yourself little notes, you know what I mean? I think those things are really awesome, and if I could see, I would totally be doing that. So, journaling is great, and I highly recommend it. I even do journaling before bed, so writing like how my day went and how I'm feeling in the current moment. And as someone who suffers from a lot of like panic attacks, I really think that like journaling my experiences with those things and kind of like how it went and how it made me feel after it all, it's really allowed me to look back and be like, damn girl, that's crazy. But no, anyways, journaling is great. You can even get yourself like the little journals that they sell. Girl, go to the dollar store and get you one of those little journal things that they sell, because I'm sure they have a bunch there too that you could just pick up and be like, oh yeah, this is my journal now. So yeah, number 8. This one is my favorite, personally speaking, as someone who does this a lot. Drink water. Let me say that again. Drink water. Listen, I know you want to start your day with a giant cup of coffee because you're about to go to work or school and you're just like not in the mood to interact with people or whatever. But there's so many benefits to drinking a glass of water in the morning. As someone who's always loved drinking water, like truthfully, I do have a Keurig in my kitchen that I'm going to make coffee with. But as much as I love doing those things, I also enjoy a nice glass of water. They also say that you shouldn't drink cold water when you wake up, but like drink it where it's like room temperature and you could squeeze lemon in it. So it's like those are like really good ways to start your day. Because then when you end up drinking coffee in the morning, you have that midday crash where you're like, damn, you know? I've seen it happen to a lot of people, and I just, like, to anybody listening, I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to have a great, successful day, a productive day where you feel happy and content and grateful, and your day goes wonderfully, and all you get is blessings and new opportunities. I want all those things for you guys. But I also want to say that, like, drinking water, like, it's not just like a mental effect, like benefit for it, but it's also like physical effects. You know, it really helps like with digestion and, you know, really kind of getting you into that pattern of drinking water in the morning. So yeah, definitely do that for yourself. Number 9, do something that you enjoy. This kind of ties into self-care, but I feel like this is on a different level because it's like, if you have a certain amount of time that you spend to do your morning routine, then that will give you enough more. Really, Gabby? Really? Anyways, that'll give you more time to like, you know, when you're done to like do something that you love. Sit down, read a book. Like I said, go for a walk. Like do anything that you enjoy. Watch, I don't know, whatever it is you guys are into. Just do something that brings you joy. Okay, this next one is one that's really hard for me, and if you're anybody else out there that feels the same way, I'm with you, okay? But this morning was a different morning for me. So the last one on the list, number 10, is eat breakfast. I've never been a breakfast person. There's a lot of breakfast foods that I don't like. I don't like eggs, but guess what? Today I had an omelet. And also, like, I just don't, I don't know. I feel like because growing up, like, I was always, like, eating breakfast, and, like, none of it was really all that healthy. Like, I would have cereal, but then my mom would also make us, like, waffles and pancakes, and it's, like, I'm a very, like, sometime-ish person with breakfast, because I feel like I will go a day where it's, like, yeah, I'm not really feeling breakfast, but then there'll be the days where I'm, like, oh, I really want an omelet, coming from someone who hates eggs. So, like, you see, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense because it's like, I don't have to always, like, there's so many people who, like, start their day with a good breakfast, and it's like, I'm proud of you for that. Congratulations. You're doing better than I am, because I don't like breakfast, which is really bad for me because I've always been, like, a very, like, snacky person. Like, I don't like eating large portions of food. I love food. Don't get that wrong. But I also just can't, like, I can't start my day with something in, like food in my stomach. I have to, you know, wait a couple hours. And so when I would go to school, I wouldn't eat breakfast at home. I would wait until I got to school, because sometimes, like, if my class is at 11, I would have breakfast at 10 o'clock, you know, by the time I got there. And it's like, that would really be, like, a better time for me, because if I'm getting up at, I don't know, 7:45, 8 o'clock, and I'm, like, starting my routine, you know, doing all these things, it's like, the last thing on my mind is having breakfast. I'm good with a glass of water or two. And also, like, I feel like there's days where I don't feel hungry. And that's due to the fact that, like, I just can't, like, I don't know. I'm very weird in the way that, like, I love, like, food, like I said. But I feel like I'm very picky with a lot of the food that I eat. I've also, this new year, I've been trying to, like, eat healthier and do better. But, you know, it's like, if you're not a breakfast person, at least do something that will bring you nutrients. Like, I know that, like, it's hard because, like, some people are just not into eating breakfast in the morning, but even if you find something that you enjoy, like, I started doing like croissants. Like, my mom will buy the croissants, like the Pillsbury croissants, so, like, she'll do those for me. And then depending on the mood that, like, I'm in the morning, or not the mood, because I'm always, like, in a good mood, but, like, depending on how I'm feeling in the morning in terms of eating, I will, you know, she'll make me pancakes or whatever. So it's like, it really just depends on how you feel, and, like, a matter of, like, is there something out there that you enjoy? I also really love doing, like, yogurt and berries. I've been recently kind of getting into that too, because since I don't like I said, eating large portions of food, you know, doing something like overnight oats or berries and yogurt, or, you know, something that will really allow you to kind of get something in your system is important to do that, especially if you're going to be out all day and you're not going to have, like, a time in the morning to, you know, stop and take a moment to get breakfast and eat something. So, like, if you guys also want to hear about, like, healthy food options to have throughout the day, I have a whole list. So let me know on Instagram at mindful.minute_ if that's something that you guys would want to, you know, hear about. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I just want to say that, you know, these are just options for you guys. And as someone who's, like, always been trying to, like, talk about self-care and its importance, I just want to say that it's harder to go throughout your day with, you know, without, like, having something that is going to motivate you, and also, like, just give you a way to really have your day go great. And, you know, no one is perfect, so don't feel bad if there's a day where you mess up and you forget to do any of these things, because sometimes it's easy, and it's like, it seems like it's the easiest option, but I really want to stress that, like, again, like, as I'm telling you guys a lot of these things, like, most of these things I already do, but most of them I'm also learning to do for myself, because as someone who struggles with anxiety and panic attacks, sometimes my mental health is not in the right state, and that also is a factor in, you know, my motivation and how I spend my day. So if you're someone out there who is struggling with something with your mental health, please, like, don't force yourself. Be kind to yourself. Treat yourself better with kindness, and just take care of yourself. And no matter what anybody has to tell you about what your lifestyle choices are, like, even if you're not into any of these things I just mentioned, like, if you're struggling with something and you know that it's something that you want, you know, to get better at, just do something that you love. I also really advise therapy for a lot of people. Again, I know there's so much of a stigma surrounding mental health and therapy, but I can't stress it enough that, like, we need to be there for ourselves, and we need to take care of ourselves. And if you're struggling with your mental health, or you're not, and you just need someone to talk to listen to you, you know, do that for yourself. Go to therapy and sit down, and make sure you find yourself a good therapist and someone who's going to respect your boundaries. I have a great one that I love that's been, you know, that I work with, and it's like, I can't say it enough that, like, once you find the people that are really right for you and will really help you and support you, it's like you'll feel so much better about yourself. And, you know, there's people in my life who have been like, oh, like, why are you going to therapy? Like, you don't need therapy. And it's like, it's really no one's business as to what you do with your mental health, you know? It's like, there's so many things that are important, and I don't want anybody listening to stress themselves out with having to do something because they're not comfortable. You know, there's so much stuff happening in the world, and the last thing that I would want is for any of you or anybody else to feel pressured or to feel like they have to change the person that they are. You don't have to change who you are, and if someone doesn't love you for who you are, they're not meant to be in your circle. They're not meant to be someone that you're supposed to be around, because you're going to find people who are better for you. You're going to find the people that are better for your mental health, people who care about you and love you and support you and want to see you thrive and succeed. And I'm just sending you guys so much love and so much positivity, and I'm really grateful for the people who listen to this podcast, and whoever else ever comes across it, just sending so much good vibes and love. And I know so much things are hard right now, especially if you're in, like, my position, where it's like you're trying to find a job, and maybe you're someone who has a disability, and it's been hard for you because people are discriminatory or whatever it is. It's just, it's difficult during this whole COVID situation. But just, please, I beg of you, just be there for yourself, take care of yourself, and just don't allow people to dull your spark or, you know, break you down because of something that they believe in, because most of the time those people are also the people that haven't been able to take care of themselves. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much. And again, if you want to, you know, reach out to me or do a collab, if you're someone out there who's really, like, passionate about a topic in self-care and mental health, I'm so sorry. If you're someone out there who's really passionate about mental health and anything relating to self-care, and you want to, like, let your voice be heard, I mean, I haven't been doing this podcast that long, but even if I could give you the chance to say something, or, you know, to talk about something on an Instagram live or whatever, you know, I'll share it as many times as I need to. You know, reach out to me and let me know. And yeah, anyway, guys, thank you.